There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the name. Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You're watching Casino is the name, and right now, real estate looks really, really good as far as investing. Definitely, from my standpoint, I was kind of trying to increase my income. So, I wasn't very bullish on real estate in the beginning. I am a landlord. I do have rental property. I have done Airbnb. I've done a lot of different types of things. I've had several tenants through the years, and real estate primarily was kind of slow moving when it came to like rental property. So if you're trying to get faster money, which we would always kind of try to lean towards when trying to increase your income, than say a slower method. Then if you were starting a business, anything like that. That's why I say like trucking over real estate. If you buy a truck versus buying a house, unless you're planning to flip it, if you're planning to rent that house out, then the trucking company is going to be much, much faster money, and because you're talking about operating an active business versus a passive investment. And so in most situations, the trucking company is going to be vastly superior if you're just talking about buying one asset and a long-term rental, like if you're going to do long-term rental. But if you're going to flip the asset where you're going to buy it and then in a few months sell it for 30, 40, 50, $100,000 profit, something like that, then that's completely different. But that's more of an active business. Buying and flipping houses is it's definitely an active business, much like running any other kind of business. Even if it wasn't a trucking company and it was a business where you made embroidery or something like that and you're selling, the ROI on what you're buying and selling versus when you're buying and holding real estate traditionally long term was much, much slower. But in today's current times, first of all, let me kind of explain what it was like before. Before, most people, in most situations, let's say you bought a house and you're paying $800 a month on that house. You might be able to rent that house out for $1,100 a month. That's kind of what it was like previously. Apartment rentals were much lower. So now that apartment rentals are higher and people are valuing space much more, when you have a one bedroom apartment that's going for 1,700 and stuff like that, like 1,500, 1,600, 1,700, when they add in all the fees, and it's a third or a fourth of the size of a house that you can get, and still pay that amount of money, and the person's mortgage is still $800, $900, $1,000, then it makes the housing market much, much better looking, when it comes to turning a profit. Because you may have to put a roof on that house. You may have to put a new AC unit in, all things that I've done in the past. But when you're renting now, let's say this house that I'm in currently, my mortgage is $1,350. I can rent this house out easily at $2,300 to $2,400 a month, $2,300 to $2,500 a month. But let's just say I rent it out at $2,300 a month. The profit is about $950 a month. Of course, you could still take out for incidentals, things like that, but the profit is almost $1,000 a month. Let's say $950 a month. Even if I have to put money away for an AC unit. Remember, this is a newer home, so the AC unit is good for several years to come. The roof is good for many years to come. So even if I had to put money away to replace a roof or something, let's say a roof is $10,000, $15,000 on the high. And so that's only a few months of profit. Well, several months of profit, but you have several years before something like that is going to become due, right? Like say you got a 25-year roof and this house is 5 years old. I have 20 years of profits before I would need to say replace the house or replace the roof. Even if you have to do repairs, you have a long time where you can stack up money. and AC units. Let's say an AC unit is 7,000, or I just paid 7,400 for a unit, and so that's a couple months worth, but it lasts for decades, right? A decade or two, and so things like that make it where now owning a house is much more lucrative, especially with the rising prices that you also get from inflation. My first house, paid $54,300. If you've seen any of my previous videos, I've talked about this before. I paid $54,300, and my mortgage on it is about, well, it's up now to about 505, but at the time it was about 450 or so. And I was renting it for about 850. So, a couple $100 profit, but over the course of a year, we're talking like $3,600. Not a lot of money, especially when, you still got to pay on like things to get fixed. It's an older house, things like that, plumbing issues, put an AC unit in. If $300 a month was my profit per month after replacing the AC, and the AC is 7,400, that blew over 2 years worth of profits right there, right? So when looking at that, it was a lot different from saying, oh, well, in 8 months, I would have made that money back if I'm profiting almost $1,000 a month difference in profit. And so that's a lot different. And now in today's climate, because rents have gone up, people need more space, people making more money, $2,400 for a 4-bedroom house, over 3,000 square feet, because you're not going to find apartments with 3,000 square feet with a yard and garages and 4 bedrooms and things like that. You're not going to find that for $2,400 a month. So now, and of course with families, people need more space and they're deciding to live together and they're figuring things out. Real estate is looking really, really good. So now I'm a lot more bullish on real estate. And, I just wanted to make this video to kind of explain my position currently, especially with me having a higher income now and needing to lower my taxable income and things like that. Real estate is a very good place for taxes or whatever. So, so that's basically why I'm a lot more bullish on trying to acquire more real estate. But anyway, right now you're watching Casino Is the Name. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we are out. Hey, yo, what's going on? Right now you're watching Casino Is the Name, and if you wanted to know how I started my trucking business, I have an ebook called Big Shot, Hot Shot Volume 1, Own Your Trucking Authority. It's a great book, 5-star reviews. The link will be in the description below. Go get that. Yeah.
Beat me up, Scotty. Me and
her together, we just count it up. Money on my mind, I can't get enough. Don't play with my money, you don't want no beef. Cause I come from the bottom, I come from the streets. When she first saw me, she said, who is that? When a man saw me, he called me a threat. I'm the one that really live with a rap. They ain't never did it, they ain't really trap.
Say you want to be successful. Well, what's stopping you? Can't nothing stop you from being successful except for you. You standing in your own way. I came from the bottom. I ain't know nothing but the grind. You can't tell me nothing about that. I called the Bus and Basic Street Projects in Tallahassee, Florida. You hear me? I used to think $1 million would last me my whole life. I'd have made that and spent that. $1
$1 million ain't enough.
There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino Is the Name.